We just rang in the new year, and for many of us, that means starting what's called Dry January. We have some tips from Shanisty Ireland here to push through these last couple of weeks of January. But Shanisty, before we get into that, tell us about yourself. I know we've met you a couple times before, but just as a reminder for our viewers.
Yeah, so I'm a lifestyle influencer, food blogger as well. And what I love to do is share recipes, share parenting advice, just tips around the house, travel, just a bunch of those different things. And so as you mentioned, we're going to be talking about Dry January. It's actually one of my favorite times of the year because it really gives us the perfect excuse to kind of reset, restart, and get away from all that alcohol that we've consumed over the holidays.
And I know you have some tips for us to, like I said, kind of push through these last couple of weeks of Dry January. So how can we set ourselves up for success? What can we do to make sure that we are sticking to it for these last few days?
Absolutely. So Dry January really is a challenge for some, and there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like we've gone through a lot of alcohol through the holidays for a lot of folks. So about 19% of American adults will participate in Dry January Challenge. And one of the main things I love to tell people is to find a partner, perhaps it's your spouse, perhaps it's a friend, a neighbor, whoever, to participate in this with you and hold each other accountable. Stay away from those trigger type areas. Instead of meeting a coworker at a bar after work, perhaps go for a walk or go to a coffee shop, something like that to kind of stay away from the alcohol as well. And then find a favorite mocktail. There's nothing wrong with that. Put it into a fancy martini glass like I have here. Make it fun. Try different drinks. And I think the benefits from what you're going to see through Dry January, it's totally worth going through the entire month without alcohol.
Those are some perfect tips, and I love the first one because everybody knows the saying, teamwork makes the dream work. So that's true for Dry January as well. Find yourself a partner and push through together. Now, Wild Tonic, we're talking about Wild Tonic today. How does this tie in to Dry January?
So this is one of my favorite brands. The Wild Tonic is similar to a kombucha, but it's a June. So the difference between June and kombucha is the June doesn't have so much of that vinegary bitterness that you have with kombucha. There's nothing wrong with that, but this is going to be a little bit smoother, a little bit sweeter. It's made with honey as opposed to sugar, so it's really refreshing and gives a very wonderful flavor. There's a bunch of different flavors. There's mango ginger. There's also blackberry mint I have here, and I have a pomegranate flavor, and they actually have a new series out this month. It's called the Wanderer series, and it's really tailored towards those mocktails. So they have a Paloma, they have a Mule, a Bee's Knees. It's going to actually taste like a Mule and a Paloma, but the beauty of it is there's no alcohol in it.
Perfect. And you don't have to wake up and feel groggy, have a headache, all the annoying things that come with having a fun night out. So Wild Tonic, where can we purchase this?
You can find it locally there at Fresh Time. And one of the things that you had just mentioned, I just want to remind folks, there are so many health benefits for doing Dry January. As you mentioned, better sleep, better mood. A lot of times you could even lose weight if you're going to be tracking that. And also, look at all those benefits. Maybe keep a diary of it. Write it all down and the money you're going to save on purchasing non-alcoholic drinks as opposed to going to the bar.
Helping us push through Dry January, or you can take it into February, maybe even March if you really want to take it a step further and stay away from the alcohol. Again, so many health benefits, as Shanisty was saying. Wildtonic.com, is that the right website for these?
Yes, and then as I've said, you can find it locally there at Fresh Time.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Shanisty.
Thank you.